It's entirely, you all know you all know each other's abilities. It is up to you, but at the end of the day, it is going to be Balok's decision whether he wakes somebody up or not.
Nothing concerned. You do know that you haven't.
And if anybody who does not finish a long rest, you do not regain the permanent hit point loss. You also will gain a level of exhaustion. So it is up to you.
I won't wake.
That's a lot on you.
I forget, how often can I use Divine Sense?
Charisma modifier. +1. So you can use it
Correct.
6 times.
So 6 times. I'll
Correct.
use it again. See if I can sense if they're within range yet.
Okay. It is 60 feet, correct? You do not sense anything, any more of an undead presence than you did before. There's still just that faint underlying undead sense to this chamber, but it's not strong, and there's absolutely nothing focused to it.
Can I tell which way they're coming from at all?
Definitely from the way that you guys came in. There is one other way out that you already found the exit from this chamber, and it is not coming from that direction.
Does Balok have the ability to get out using his tentacles to pick up the tent?
It's remain stationary.
It remains stationary.
You put the entrance of the tent parallel to the
Because there is no entrance, there is no exit. You just simply walk out of it. It's like a bubble. Well, it's like a half.
I'll try to hold off on waking them up again.
Okay.
But I'll keep a keen eye on the.
Go ahead and make another perception check.
Nothing can get in or out as long as the spell persists.
19 total. You definitely get a sense that there is a steady progression. The echoes are getting closer. You hear rattles that sound less like repeated echoes and maybe a couple hallways away.
I'll go ahead and wait. Go ahead and start waking everyone up.
Okay. This is pushing right at about 6 hours.
Yeah, I'll start waking.
Should we do the hit dice thingy?
Oh, why are you waking me from a slumber? What's so urgent?
Alright, I need to know who has not finished a long rest at the end of 6 hours.
So we get 6 hours.
Yeah.
6 hours.
Does the monk finish long rest in 6
It's
hours?
not
Race?
monk, it's halfling.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I don't know
I think
if
we're all-
anyone finishes a long rest in 6 hours.
Everyone does.
Hold on. Because you're Asimar.
Typical long rest is
Would
8
an
hours.
Asimar
They
finish long
change
rest in 6
it
hours?
A long rest is 6 hours of full-on sleep.
I'm sick. I'm good then.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I was doing nothing.
The elves are fine.
I was doing nothing.
The half elf is fine, I guess.
Alright.
And that
DM's
does-
discretion.
That does undo the temporary.
It will undo the hit point loss.
I think we're all actually good on that one.
What's
Yeah.
going on, Balok?
There's quite a bit of sound coming from the hallway we came from.
Let's go ahead and pack up as quickly.
Sounds like a lot of sound.
I
Let's-
hate to fuck us like that. Middle of the left page.
Coming to, you all can hear the clattering echoes coming through the hallway that you had entered through.
I can bone a good bit of them, but I could bone a
186
good bit of them, but there sounds like a lot of them.
Yeah, so if we pack up, cover our escape, and get the fuck out of here, we should be fine.
Agreed.
What if you
Or
would have got hyper beam the entrance above and cause the hallway to
Well, it could-
collapse?
Yeah, it would possibly damage the structural integrity of the tunnels themselves. We would probably be better off with shooting a fireball at the
We're
entrance
good?
and melting it.
For clarification on this one, it's been confusing for a long time. Long rests, it specifically states, are 8 hours, 2 of
Yes.
which can be light duty. So in other words, you only need 6 hours of sleep. So, any strenuous action you all take right now will undo the long rest.
So,
Always say we get
Other than obviously the ones who trance don't have to necessarily worry about that.
Well, if they don't sound like we're speeding,
if they're still coming this way,
Which way did we get in here from?
the far right hand side. If we're looking down at it, where it was on the far right hand
Yeah,
So
side.
yeah, it was back this way, and the exit. It was back this way, and the exit
Exit's
out
over
was
on this
up
side.
and to the right.
yes, kind of like this.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So all we need to do is we pack up.
Now, if you start a march right now, it will undo the long rest for those of you who need the full 8 hours, and that is Lexi, Gyatso, right, Lithani, and Arkin.
Yeah.
Half-breed.
I can
Actually,
make
I think even Balok, because you don't need to sleep, but you still need the long rest. If I
I
remember,
think I need just 4 hours.
is it 4 hours?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a
Hold on
cool.
a second. I might.
So yeah, so it is up to you. Now, those of you who had trance, you are safe and in the clear. But the rest of you, if you start getting up and moving and doing anything strenuous, you will break the long rest.
So can we march it? Not march, but kind of
Yeah,
walk.
Nope. It is
What if we get-
considered a
Combined,
march.
combined weight would be for the 3 of them. About how much would it be?
There have been many a person who has tried to rules lawyer the shit out of this,
Mm-hmm.
not allowing it.
Damn it! I was gonna do
Being
tensor floating
carried counts the exact same. It is movement
Well,
in a way.
I was gonna do tensor floating disc.
It's being carried.
Right.
It's
well,
yeah.
being carried.
What if
Got
you put them in your bag?
And the portable hole.
And the
Yeah.
portable hole is
Die.
actually.
No, that's
No,
not a
there's
good.
no air.
There's no air in there.
What if
I need
what if
2
we
hours,
leave
not
like
2
a
minutes.
bamboo
For him
shoot
at least.
sticking out on
We can
tape?
put him
It
in
doesn't
there.
work that way.
He
We
doesn't-
can put him in the portable
He,
hole.
he doesn't need it because
Yeah, I don't need it.
he only requires the 4 hours. So
We
We can
6
still
hours
put
is
him in there
nothing.
for future reference.
So-
Save me.
You and I can go off the undead. while
Go ahead and
those
make
things
another
rest.
perception check.
Yeah, we probably could.
I'm awake. Can I do a perception check too?
Are you actively listening?
Guys,
6.
Oh, 5.
6. You definitely still hear the noises. It's hard to tell whether they're getting
Oh,
closer.
fuck.
What R has a good point. If he and I go ahead and take up defensive positions, you guys can go ahead and finish your long rest. We should be able to.
Do you think you can hold them off for 2 hours?
We're gonna try to.
all right.
I can definitely attempt to.
How
All
big
right.
is the opening that we came out of?
The opening that you came in through was
it was
roughly about, we'll call it between 4.5 and 5 feet wide, and it was just on the heavy side of 6 feet tall. You know, the taller of you had to duck your head a little bit to come through the opening.
I just comfortably
We could
walk
put
through
like
it.
a firewall with the darkness in front. They can't see your wall. They walk right into the fire.
They would feel the flame.
Fireball, right?
Well, I mean, fireball's one way. But
Fireball.
imagine if we were to
Hyper beam.
use fire to mold the tunnel shut.
Eventually, they could still break through.
That would buy us one hell of a lot of time, though.
I mean, is it cold enough that the ice
Especially
will
since
seal?
they're-
Because then you could
If you're a- if
melt the
if you're-
water, it'll refreeze in the
Yeah, what
atmosphere.
my thought was, going along the same thought process, is if you can help me melt the tunnel, I can go ahead and I can refreeze it.
I can melt the shit out of it.
Let's do that.
So,
Alright, so what's your plan?
what I want to do is I want to cast Flaming Sphere, I believe.
Oxygen is coming from.
I want to cast Flaming Sphere, and I'm going to go above the tunnel a
Okay.
good bit and start melting the water above the tunnel to try to
Trickle.
cause water to flow down over the opening.
And then while he's doing that, I'll be casting Ray of Frost to freeze it in the doorway.
Okay. Ray of Frost is a cantrip,
Yes.
and while it can be used to freeze water to a certain extent,
Mhm.
it will not freeze it fast enough for the purposes that you're looking for.
Okay. Well, then we can scratch that then. I don't really have a whole lot of ice.
You're talking about more of a large scale type of freezing. You're looking at a little bit higher of spells.
Yeah, I would need Cone of Cold.
Probably a cone of cold would do
Yeah.
exactly what you're looking for.
I mean, are undead intelligent? Can you just tripwire all of them?
They're not necessarily intelligent, but they are persistent.
Get it by the
Could you
way.
melt a hole into
Do you want to
the
hold a
floor?
flaming sphere while they try to walk through
Could
it?
you melt a hole
How
in the
big is the
floor?
opening?
Just under 5 feet wide and just over 6 foot tall.
How big is Layman's tiny hut?
Oh.
That's a damn good thought. Let me double check.
It is a 10-foot hemisphere.
It is a 10-foot hemisphere. I think I'm gonna start recasting Leoman's tiny hut in front of the doorway as a ritual
And plug it off.
and plug it up.
All right.
And then
idea.
everyone can simply, calmly, lightly walk over to the new Leoman's hut and finish their long rest.
They ain't even got it.
Is
Yeah, we
that
can just
okay? Is
slap
it
it
okay to just
Right,
like
it's cold as fuck. They ain't even got it.
Yeah, I know. Well, if you want to stay warm.
Yes.
I'll sleep in the hut.
Light movement is absolutely no problem. All right.
And that
Makes
will
us roll
persist for at
fucking
least 8
wow.
hours.
James is like, fuck you guys.
All right.
That was damn.
You start.
I almost thought about
You
that.
start your ritual casting.
Yep.
Oh shit.
I need a perception check.
Guys, if you
I
need
can't do it because I'm concentrating
I
on the
wanna
spell.
go.
help in game, guys, if you need help with this, I'm fine to help.
I don't
I'm
think
only
it,
missing 9.
I don't think anything you can do
I got a
can help
24.
speed up my
24.
casting time.
No,
Should
like
we
if they
all
start-
roll perception?
It's more so. I know that Arkin had mentioned that she would be keeping an ear out, and I know that Balak had already been keeping an ear out, and R had mentioned the same as well. So we'll go ahead and go with those ones. 24. There is definitely a noticeable movement, slowly getting closer through the tunnels. And when he starts his chanting for the ritual spell, there's more of a persistence to it, as if they caught the sound, and while they might not have the exact direction through the tunnels, there's more of a furtive movement.
Dolph.
It's actually 1 minute. Just hold them off for 1 minute.
Ritual casting is
cast,
10 minutes plus the
Oh.
original casting time.
So it's 11
does it
minutes.
Slow them down at all, like if they can't see? No.
Not. Dolph. They're getting close. We may not have time to finish this.
Pretty
Fine, then
they're
I'm gonna
there
stop.
by themselves.
Then I'll stop ritual casting, and I'm just gonna start regular casting it.
Okay.
And I'll use a
Regular
spell slot.
cast.
I'll regular cast and use a spell slot for it.
Okay. So
You could just go back to sleep.
It only takes you 4 hours.
Fine. Just trance it.
This boat is going to so
Not
far
that type
behind.
of trance. Isn't that tit? It's popping.
The fuck.
he gets to choose the color of the dome, and it's just spiral rainbow color.
Yeah.
It looks like a discotheque
I
on
knew
the
you were
inside.
gonna say
It's like raindrop effect.
Oh, that's pretty cool though.
Okay. Listening closely, everybody keeping an ear out as the clattering starts to get closer. Closer. And the echoes stop, and you can hear actual bone on ice as the dome appears around you,
Thank fuck.
sealing off the hallway.
Guys.
What? Stop starting your sentences. Stop starting your sentences.
I feel bad for whoever is sleeping in the cave part, because you're like, oh, these skeletons, I can't go to sleep.
We're like, it's cold fuck over here.
Tick, tick, tick.
It's like 20 skeletons.
The scratching at the walls disturbs me.
Just go to sleep.
All right. As you all pile into the dome, anybody who's going in, I'm assuming,
I'm already in it. Yeah, I have to be in it.
you have to be in it, obviously, and you can't leave. Just make sure your wizard doesn't walk in his sleep.
Sleep, please. Oh my god, we're all gonna die.
Cody, what the fuck are you doing right now?
He always does it. He plays with his dogs.
Hey, I said both hands on somebody's junk.
Nope.
Don't mind it.
All right. Don't have to ask me twice.
I dare you to try it again.
Professional skier.
Oh shit.
I dare you.
All right.
Can I have that pencil?
Nope. Oh yeah, no. Put your hand over here. I'll give it to you.
You gave it to me, baby.
All right.
Yeah, up to the eraser.
3 minutes later,
Oh fuck.
you see this. You finally see coming around a bend in the skeleton, or a bend in the tunnel. Jesus. Yeah,
Is this
bent
like a,
over skeleton.
is this like a skeleton that's getting it from
Only
behind?
birth defect skeletons.
They have been lonely for a while.
That's
And they do have some pretty big motors.
So,
It wasn't funny when I said it. It's not going to be funny when you say it.
You made me laugh.
coming around the corner, further down the tunnel, just outside of where the dome drops down and meets the floor, you watch as several skeletons come around the corner.
Oh, fuck.
That's pretty rough.
Hey, is this 8 hours in?
Not quite yet.
Nope.
This was mere minutes after the dome came up.
I mean, really?
I can take a short rest and recover that fucking spell slot, though.
If you would like to.
I'm gonna.
You got the time.
As long as the hut stays up, it's fine.
Really, the
You
dump's
just
gonna stay up as
handle
long as we're
Sort of
there,
the
so
more.
we could just leave Doc there and start a.
Not recommended, especially by me.
Wait, can spells
Hey,
exit
dog.
the hut?
We can
No.
No.
at least get to the
Dog.
exit.
So no delayed fireball.
Correct.
You are asleep.
Whenever we're all
I
rested
know.
up and ready to go,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And this
I'm
dome
lightly
drops.
resting.
Mhm.
I'm not asleep. I had my 6 hours of sleep.
I
instead of my
think
2
we'll be able
hours
to
of
deal with this.
Okay.
working.
As long as I have your help.
Yeah, what do you need?
Fireball.
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 Fireball. Fireball. Fireball. Fireball. Fireball.
Okay.
Every time we start
So.
this chance, we get hurt.
Last time I
No.
dealt less than like.
Cody gets hurt.
We all get hurt. He killed 3 of us last time.
Last
No,
time we did
yeah,
his
that
chant, I
He didn't
let
hurt.
less
Okay.
than 6 of the fucking damage.
Taking your rest as more and more skeletons find their way.
And this is the open side, not the side plugged with the hut?
No, this is the side plugged with the hut.
Oh.
They're all packing their way into this tunnel, effectively shoving themselves in there like sardines, just in a mindless push, heading in the direction that they know they heard the sound.